Hey, Stacy here with SL Wellness. I'm back with lesson 3, and this time I'm going to go over the foundation of rebalancing your body, which is rest. Lesson T. What's the oh? I don't know what that is. Chances are one of the root causes of many of the issues you're likely dealing with today are actually adrenal related problems. Adrenal glands are these little cone shaped organs that sit on top of your kidneys, and they really are the master gland dealing with all of your stress hormones. So, anytime you've got any event that your body perceives as stress, the adrenal glands kick into action and start to secrete either adrenaline or cortisol. But adrenal malfunction can happen when your brain is constantly receiving these stress signals. If you're having problems going to sleep or staying asleep, odds are your adrenals are in trouble. Once the adrenals start malfunctioning, many other systems in your body start to follow suit. The endocrine system, which regulates your hormones, the digestive system, the cardiovascular system, circulatory system, all of these systems can start to slow down and your health can really start to suffer. In this video, we're going to go over the R in the DRESS protocol, that DRESS protocol. And the R, of course, stands for rest. I don't want you to try to change everything all at once, so you'll get overwhelmed if that's the case. But we have to start working on your rest so that you can get to sleep and sleep really well. Maybe you feel like you're sleeping well, but then you wake up in the morning and you're still tired, like you didn't even go to sleep. Or maybe around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you have this slump where you need caffeine or you're tired, you want to take a nap. But really drilling down on the R in the dress protocol can help to rebalance the body more quickly. When your body is stuck in something called sympathetic nervous system dominance, we also call this fight or flight mode. You probably have heard of that, right? And you probably know this feeling if you're sitting in traffic and find yourself gripping the steering wheel harder and grinding your teeth and your heart rate starting to elevate. Or you have a hard conversation with your spouse or business partner and realize that your whole body is tense and you can feel yourself sweating. You ever get like what they call cold sweats? That's it. That's your system telling you. That's when you're stuck in sympathetic nervous system dominant mode or fight or flight. But what your body's doing there is prioritizing your safety and your survival. There are all sorts of really necessary things that happen when your body's stuck in sympathetic nervous system dominance. Our heart rate speeds up, our temperature increases, our pupils dilate, our bodies divert blood flow to the muscles instead to the other places like the digestive system. But this has consequences if it's happening all the time. One of those consequences is that all unnecessary functions start to slow down. And unnecessary function means functions that aren't directly related to you surviving that moment. So things like your metabolism, or how fast you're burning through your food, or how your body regulates weight, things like digestion, or how well you digest your food. Things like brain function will start to slow down as your body is using your lizard brain to prioritize safety and survival. So, again, we call this fight or flight, and it can be really detrimental to your long term health. Okay, so we're going to focus first on sleep. If we can get you sleeping well and feeling like you are actually rested, then the body can shift from something called the sympathetic nervous system, dominant state, over to parasympathetic nervous system, dominant state. That's where you can rest. That's where you can digest. That's where your body calms down. You know, you're in parasympathetic state if you're yawning, for example, during a yoga class or a movie. Your body's relaxed enough to where it's turned off that fight or flight mode and has allowed yourself to calm down just a little bit. So, again, to start the process directly, we'll focus on your sleep. There's somewhere where you. Okay, bedtime snack. To get a good night's sleep, we want you to consider having a bedtime snack. I know, it's going to go against everything you've heard on social media and all that, but you can eat a snack at bedtime that's right for your metabolic type. And if we haven't yet gone over your metabolic type test results, if you're a client of mine, um, that's something we'll do in a future session. But eating a right snack for your body will stabilize your blood sugar levels, lull you to sleep, and will repair your hormones and your neurotransmitters. If you do wake up at 2 or 3 a.m., we recommend grabbing another small snack. Now, I can tell you from my metabolic type, um, it has to be protein rich for me. So I actually keep these little high protein snack bars in my nightstand drawer so that if I'm feeling like I need to have one in the middle of the night, have it. I don't usually reach for that, but it's good to have something like that in the case if I need it, right? If there's a blood sugar crash for some reason. So, some of the things that we like at bedtime are banana and nut butter. I personally don't do well with banana, even with nut butter. So I would have maybe some apple and some nut butter just because it's lower in the glycemic index. Again, that goes back to your MRT and your metabolic typing. It's very specific to you. Or some almond milk with some vanilla collagen powder, heat it up with some cinnamon. It is so yummy. And again, that has some protein in it. So it's really perfect for somebody like me. Um, you can have some almonds themselves, just almonds by themselves. You can have a little bit. So have fruits or vegetables with nut butter. You can have lunch meat with some nuts or nut butter or carrot. You want whole foods that have a good ratio of protein, fat, and carbohydrates. and that calm your stress response down before you go to sleep. The second tip that I have is to sleep in the dark. I mean, that's a no brainer, right? When any light at all hits your eyes, your circadian rhythm can get disrupted at nighttime. Your serotonin and melatonin levels can get out of whack, and your sleep quality is absolutely hindered. We recommend that you sleep in the absolute dark or with a sleep mask on. You can also use a white noise machine or a fan to provide ambient noise. I like the app called Better Sleep. It's free and you can use that to provide white noise at bedtime. There's even some apps for like fans. That's one that I really like. So when we're out of town, we just pop that on if we don't have the fan with us. You can also use blackout curtains or a sleep mask if you're having trouble getting rid of all the light in your bedroom. Okay, here's another tip, which to some people is probably very odd, but wear socks. Feet have this the the porous circulation of any body part and will often feel cold before the rest of the body. Studies show that wearing socks to bed reduces the number of times a person wakes up throughout the night. I encourage you to wear natural fiber socks like cotton or wool. Polyester can make you a little bit too hot, but if you do struggle with chilly feet, try wearing those socks to bed. And speaking of temperature, this is the biggest topic in my house. I also encourage you to keep your cool on the rest of your body. So, studies also show that we sleep best around 68 degrees Fahrenheit. So, guess what degree, like what temperature my house is all year round, not just my bedroom? 68 degrees. You got that. Your body temperature actually has to drop by an average of 2 degrees before you can fall and stay asleep. So I encourage you to avoid workouts and stress before bed. Take an Epsom salt bath, which can raise and then lower your body temperature so you can fall asleep quickly and also stay asleep. For an Epsom salt bath, you can use 2 cups of Epsom salts about dissolved in as hot of water as you can stand, is what you like, and then use some essential oils if that's something that you'd like. I like rosemary. I like those for relaxation. Normal people like lavender. I'm not a lavender lover, but lavender seems to be one that people love when it comes to relaxation. Uh, And my fifth tip is to get yourself to bed early. Health, wealth, and wisdom is promised to the one that goes to bed early. Early bird gets the worm. Our ancestors absolutely had the rest when the sun had to rest when the sun went down. But our modern bodies suffer when we push our bedtime back too late. Your adrenals actually do the majority of their recharging and repairing between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. So I really encourage you to get to sleep before 10 a.m. if at all possible. You can use something like yoga or breath work or the app called Calm to wind down before bed. So that's the module on rest. We're focusing on sleep at the beginning part of your program. And in our later module, where we talk about stress reduction, we'll talk about more ways to rest your body and your mind. But up next, we'll be talking about exercise. So I will see you in the next video. Hallelujah.